Over the last couple of years, I've built a multi-six-figure business, and as a byproduct, I've ended up developing 10, what I would say are crucial skill sets and traits that have allowed me to maintain it. Now, a lot of the people that come into our program who we work with as clients develop these skills too, but they're not obvious straight away. So there are 10 in total. Most of them consist of a small change or a small action that has a lasting effect or a lasting skill set or a lasting trait. I'm going to walk you through every single one of them right now. Number one, I invested in myself. And investing in yourself demonstrates self-belief, because this isn't just about money. Yes, people do want to make money, but ultimately what will help them maintain that money is self-belief, and it's changing as a person. Now, when you put your money where your mouth is, you put a scary number where your mouth is, it fucking changes you, no end. Because what you're doing is essentially just betting on your own success. Are you backing yourself? And the answer for that needs to be yes, because if it's no, guess what? You probably are going to fail. And this self-belief, once you have backed yourself the first time, forms like a foundation. Anything successful is built on that foundation of self-belief. It fuels your drive, it keeps you motivated, it also helps you overcome obstacles too. But without it, you will probably struggle to convince other people to believe in you as well. So self-belief, the core, the internal, is what matters the most. And when you reach one of these points where you do have to put your money where your mouth is and you have to reach into your pocket, you might be questioning yourself like, oh, well, what if I fail? Valid point. But failure is a part of the process. You look at all these ultra successful people, they've all had multiple ventures that have failed or gone pear-shaped or gone tits up. And a way to frame this is failure is not a dead end, okay? You still have options at the end of failure. It's more like a stepping stone or a fork in the road where you have to choose your next option. So my advice to you is not being afraid of the failure because you know it's going to come. It's a natural part of progression, but actually making sure you fail fast. The faster you fail, the faster you learn. And the thing to really think about is when you invest in yourself, you send a message to yourself. You are telling your subconscious mind that actually you think you're worth it. And the effect that this has radiates, okay? It shows other people that you believe in yourself, and therefore you're going to attract more opportunities, more collaborations, more partnerships, more clients, and ultimately more money and more happiness. Number two, offer creation, positioning, and messaging. What these things do are sharpen your communication skills. They make your communication ultra clear. And this in itself is a skill, because if you're in sales, you're in business, you're in marketing, you need to be able to articulate who you help, what you sell, how it benefits them, and loads of other things. And in order to have a really clear message that cuts through the noise, you need to make it really short and really punchy, aka clear and concise. Because ultimately, if you haven't got these clear communication skills and you can't articulate the value or the impact that your product or service is going to have, no one's going to buy and you won't have a business. And this is why the whole process that we take our clients through starts with the offer and the message and the position. Number three, I targeted a really specific audience, which is the art of saying no. We all know you can't serve everyone. And if you're trying to, it's going to dilute your business, your offerings, your marketing, and loads of other things too. But by focusing on a specific market, you can actually tailor everything to those people and their exact needs, which makes things a hell of a lot easier. And when you say yes to a particular audience, you say no to another audience. And loads of people think, oh, I can't do that. I'm missing out on potential revenue or profit. I need to be able to sell to everyone. But in reality, what you're doing is widening the availability for you and the appeal you have and your products have to a specific set of people, which means you become known for one thing rather than being unknown for everything. There's a Warren Buffett quote here too, which says, the difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything. That's why I've reframed this as the art of saying no. Getting to the next stage in business isn't about inheriting more and taking on more things. It's actually about saying no to things. It's all about quality over quantity. Number four, I increase my prices consistently. And that means I have conviction. Conviction for what I do, conviction for the value I bring, and conviction for the results and the transformations that our product provides. Because you can't raise your prices authentically without conviction, without that belief that you can help. So if you actually understand the transformation you provide, you may need to look at the knock-on effect that that transformation provides for the end user 2 years, 3 years down the line, because that's the actual value or the impact that you're having. Then change your prices accordingly. You know, if you can help someone lose £5, £10, they go out and they land their dream partner, they then get married, have kids, and have a successful relationship for the rest of their lives, it's worth more than 50 quid an hour for 8 sessions at the gym, surely. And when you start to realize this, when you actually realize your worth, raising your prices becomes a natural thing, okay? You will feel the need and the inclination to do it. And it's not about ripping people off and just doing it for the sake of it. It's about charging for the true impact that you have. Number 5, I started posting content. Not only did that give me confidence, it also gives me credibility. Because when you share your knowledge and your expertise publicly, you automatically build a reputation for yourself, good or bad. But you've just got to have the guts to do it. Because the longer I spend doing this, the more I realize that anything is possible if you have enough nerve. Because when you're consistently publishing content in the public eye, not only are you sharpening your skills and becoming a better creator, you're also building a brand and letting people know about you and hopefully making money at the same time, which in turn just creates this flywheel effect of confidence building. There are so many positives. I promise you, if you are not posting content right now and you are watching this video wishing you had, do it today, because there is no downside to becoming a content creator. Number 6, running masterclasses, going live and speaking on stages sharpens your public speaking skills, obviously. And public speaking is an absolute essential, it's fucking essential skill for business owners and leaders. It boosts your confidence, as we've covered, it boosts your communication skills, as we've covered, but it also positions you as someone worth listening to, because you're the one up there, you're the one on the pedestal, you're the loudest one because you've got the mic. So just having the guts to do that and show up pretty much means, by association with the stage or the platform, that you are a fucking expert. And the people who are on these stages usually attract way more opportunities than the people that aren't. Number 7, sending DMs and trying to convince people to speak to you builds resilience. Because when you're in this game, you're going to get knocked back loads. I mean it. So you are required to have resilience. If you haven't got it now and you let the knockbacks affect you, you won't be in business very long. However, if you can learn from those knockbacks and build on them and realize that every no is just a stepping stone closer to a yes, you're going to start to see success pretty quickly. You have got to be able to handle rejection, and most of the time the reason that people don't make progress is because they're too afraid of what's on the other side of asking a question. They're too afraid of hearing the word no. But once you're used to it and you no longer give a flying fuck about those 2 little letters, it's game on. You will get so many more no's than you do yeses, but those no's thicken your skin. Number 8, sales skills are actually persuasion and negotiation skills, whether you realized it or not. And lots of people go, well, sales isn't a skill, it's something you're born with. Bullshit. I was terrible when I started, absolutely horrendous. But now I feel more confident than ever. Why? Because I've practiced the art of selling. Because imagine that you could walk into a room or start a conversation with someone and automatically know what that person's motivations were. Because if you can actually meet people where they're at and understand them before you start talking, they're automatically going to tune into what you're saying a lot more. Why? Because it makes the most sense to them and their situation. And the other part of it is negotiating. Looking for the win-win, where both parties win, rather than a win-loss or a loss-win either side. So by being in these types of conversations and these types of scenarios, you are automatically becoming better at listening, persuading, but also negotiating terms that both parties can win on. Number 9, client delivery or client fulfillment equals problem solving and relationship building skills. Everyone's probably worked with someone that was very transactional, they're just there to get the job done, it hits 5 o'clock and they clock off. That's simply just providing a service. But if you want people to rant and rave about you, and you want word of mouth to spread, and your brand to have a positive reputation in whatever market you're in, you need to go deeper than that. You need to focus on solving problems that your clients might not even be aware of. And you can do that by building relationships with them, and just like I said in the last point, understanding them better. When you build a relationship with someone, they open up more to you, you can talk more openly and freely to them, and they will start to tell you where they're at and their true feelings about things. And this in itself is a skill. You learn very quickly when people are satisfied and dissatisfied as well. And as I say, clients are much more likely to recommend you to other people too. And number 10, client communications equals boundary setting skills, if you're good at them. And I recommend setting boundaries, clear boundaries with clients very early on. Not only does it help you set expectations for the working relationship, but it also means that they're not going to be calling you at 2 a.m. with some really minute problems and disrupting your work-life balance. When you set these boundaries, you create like this professional environment where clients know exactly what to expect. Because without them, things can get chaotic and manageable. You know, I've had a few nightmare clients that they pay very little, they expect the absolute world in return, and they stay on your back. And that's not their fault. It was my fault. My fault for not outlining at the start of the relationship, here's what's included, And here's what fucking isn't. It's not about being rigid or being a prick. It's more about creating structure and clarity for the client-supplier relationship. Because without that, things can go haywire pretty quick. So those are the 10 skills or the 10 traits or whatever you want to call them that I've built simply by building my business. And I want to shout out to my client Stephen, who recently sat me aside, and this was the inspiration for the whole video, and he said, "You do know that content to clients isn't just a sales and marketing program now, don't you, Chris? It's evolved." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he said, "Well, it's a mental development program." And I was like, "Shit, it is." So if you want to join us, drop me a DM.